Hey everybody, it's Rob. We're back. We're going to do another TryHackMe machine. This time we're doing a machine called c0lddbox. It is a Linux machine and it is rated as easy. And I thought it was pretty easy. Um, some stuff that I don't get to do too often, so it was pretty interesting. I learned a couple of things as well. So without further ado, you can see I am on TryHackMe's VPN, and I do have c0lldbox cold security spun up, and the IP address is right here as shown. So, like we do all the time, first thing we did was we ran an Nmap scan, service version detection T4 aggressive on the most common ports, and literally one thing came back. It is port 80, and it looks like it's running a WordPress blog. So, pretty interesting. Not something that you see too often, but WordPress is one of the most popular website platforms on the planet. So good to know how to enumerate it and potentially exploit it. So, with the simple fact that this was really the only route to go, we visited the website, and it's a WordPress blog. So, if you've seen one, you've seen hundreds. So the first thing I thought I would do was to do some dirt busting. So we're going to do go buster, and we're going to paste in the IP address because this is wrong. Can't even paste. Sorry about that. So again, if you're not familiar with GoBuster, it is my go-to tool for this, and we're running it against the WordPress blog, and we're using the Derby common .text word list. So we're going to hit enter on this. And some typical things that you see with WordPress are going to pop up. Actually, my personal website's WordPress, so I'm pretty familiar with it. So we're going to let this run. So far, everything's pretty standard. Okay, except for the hidden. You don't typically see hidden, right? You do see the WP admin. That's how the administrator logs in. So let's check out hidden and see what's what there. So put a /hidden, and it looks like cold. You changed Hugo's password. When can you send it to him so he can continue to upload his articles? Philip. So potentially we have usernames here, but honestly, this really doesn't give you much information other than some usernames. And I'm going to be quite frank, WPScan or WordPress scan can enumerate users anyway. So I did take a look at the page source. It's pretty simple. There's nothing there. So I did try to go to the login page, but obviously, without a password, it's kind of difficult. So what I thought I'd do now is we're going to run WordPress scan. And one of the initial scans that you can run basically just gives you all of the information about the instance of WordPress that's running. So it's right here. And this is standard WordPress scan. So WP scan, the URL of the WordPress site, and then we're going to enumerate, tac enumerate. I think you can just do tac E, and then U is for users. So we're going to see the total amount of users on this website. I'm pretty sure there's only about 4 based on that hidden message, but we'll see. Plus, this will tell us the version of WordPress. It'll tell us a whole bunch of stuff. So we're going to run this. Shouldn't take too long. All right, so it looks like we got the cold in person. Philip, cold, Hugo. I don't have a WPScan API token, but I think you can get one for free that allows you 25 requests a day. Like, I'm not sure who's going to be scanning WordPress 25 times a day. So typically, if you want to do that, it does a little bit more of a comprehensive scan if you supply an API token. I wouldn't do that here anyway because I record these videos and I don't need you having my API token. So that's the users that we have. The only thing that I can think of past this was to do some brute forcing of the passwords for these users. So that's what we're going to do. The second WordPress scan we're going to run, and I'll explain it. basically does it does the same thing as the first one. Um, but this one will also try to take all of the users it finds and brute force their account with a password list. So I have it running against rocku.txt. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit enter. And once it gets to the brute forcing, I'm going to pause the video and let it do its thing. And then I'll resume when we get some results, if we get some results. So hang on. Okay, we're back and we've had some success. As you can see, we found c0ldd's password, which is 98765432210, which is a terrible password. Don't ever use that as a password. It took roughly 2 minutes for it to crack that password. So, if I had used a smaller list, that's a pretty common password. It probably would have cracked it almost instantly. So we know c0ldd is basically the administrator based on that hidden message asking c0ldd to reset somebody's password. So actually what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to kill this because we have c0ldd's password right here. Okay? So what do you think we're going to do with c0ldd's password? We are going to go to the WP admin panel and we're going to log in as c0ldd. And we're going to copy this password that we got and we're going to paste it in. Log in. Not now. All right. Now I did notice that this instance of WordPress is a little slow, so just bear with me while this stuff loads. I mean, just the fact that we didn't immediately get a rejection to me means that it's probably going to log us in, and it does. So I thought of multiple ways that I could potentially take advantage of this. I was going to try and embed something into a post. There was a bunch of stuff I was going to do. I did try to embed a reverse shell into a post, but it didn't work. So what I decided to do was to search for a plugin, a reverse shell plugin. And what I found was this guy's website. And this is really, really slick. So for Mirror, I don't know how you say that, but this guy wrote this plugin and it is great. So what we're going to do is we're going to just download this. And I believe I probably already have a copy. I do. So I'm going to try this 2 ways. I'm going to try and edit the Hello Dolly plugin. I may just try to create a new plugin as well. We'll see which one works best. So if you're not familiar with WordPress, plugins, kind of the Achilles heel. There's a lot of plugins that are vulnerable. Sometimes that's why it's great to run WordPresscan, because it will tell you if there are any vulnerable plugins. So what we're going to do is let's try just adding a new plugin first. It may ask me to upload it. I don't know if that's going to work though. I may have to go in and just edit a plugin. I think there's always the Hello Dolly plugin, which is like the Hello World plugin that you can modify. And we can probably just paste this code in there. We'll see, but I'm going to pause the video because this, like I said, this WordPress instance is very slow. All right, so the upload plugin, I don't know if it was going to work, but it was just hanging. So right now I'm at the installed plugins. So I'm just going to basically go to the Hello Dolly plugin and I'm going to paste in that raw code for the reverse shell plugin, paste, and update file. And let's see what happens. Install plugins. All right, it's there. So now what we need to do, according to this guy's website, he gives you some great instructions too. You basically upload it and then you just activate it and it adds a reverse shell option side to the sidebar. So if I click on this, you can see now there's this reverse shell. So what we're going to do is we're going to activate the plugin. Slow. Okay, so it's activated. So now we have this reverse shell in the sidebar. So the first thing we need to do is set up a listener. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to connect to 1234. So I'm going to go netcat nlvp 1234. I'm going to hit enter. And then we're going to go back to the WordPress site. I'm going to put my IP address in here, which is 10.6.14.101. And then we're going to put port 1234 in here. And we're going to click connect. So that looks like it hung, which is always a good sign. Come back here and we have a shell. Now the bad news is this is the most janky shell you're ever going to get. There's literally not a lot you can do. Like if you try to do bin bash I, no output from command. So basically you can't change directories. All you can do is be in this directory. So what we decided to do was to try and get a better shell. And I realized I could run some commands. And because this is a web server, I figured PHP is a good option. So I went to, you guessed it, Payloads all the things. And there's a PHP option down here, yes. And I took this one and basically just modified the IP address and the port. So what we got to do is copy that. But before we do, we want to set up another listener. So this one, we're going to listen on all fours. Okay. We're going to go back to our shell here, and we're going to paste in this one-liner from Payloads all the things. And we're going to hit enter. And then hopefully we have another shell. And we do. So if you type who am I, we're www data. We can't get into any, I tried to cd to home and do an ls and go into colds directory. So c0ldd. Oh, and let me in. And there's the user.txt. Okay, so we can cat that. I will show you that cat.user.txt. Oh, that's what I ran into. So you get permission denied. So you can't cat the file. You can get into the directory, but you can't cat the file. So what we're going to do is we are going to do our normal Linux stuff. So we'll do history. We might have to upgrade this shell again. We'll see. If I could just spell history, that would be great. History not found. Let's see if sudo-l. Okay, so no TTY present. So what we're going to do is we're going to upload, we're going to basically try and upgrade our shell again using the standard Python import bin bash, and we'll see what happens. All right, that looks a little better. Let's try history again. Yep, nothing there. Sudo-l, nothing. It just echoed the command. So that's, it's looking for, sudo-l is looking for a password. So this is obviously not a good sign that we're going to be able to do anything with sudo-l. So the other thing that we can do is, let's see if we can find files with the suid set. And find files with suid. I forgot the format of the command. So let's see. There we go. AI to the rescue. Copy. Paste. So what we're going to do is we're going to run this, and this looks for anything that has the suid set as far as files that have that bit that which indicate that when the user runs the file, it runs as the root. Okay. So we're going to paste clipboard and let's see what happens. Oh boy. Yeah, I see something already. Right here, find. That is not something you see with the suid set at all. Okay. That is bad, 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 bad. So let's open our web browser again. And the next place we're going is payloads all the is GTFObins. Copy, paste, and go. All right, so if we basically go to the search bar, type find, you can see here it is with shell, file write, c0lld. This isn't going to work what they're trying to do right here because we don't have access to sudo. So I don't know why they would include this up here. It looks like they're trying to make a copy of find and then do something with that. I've found that if you just run find just like this, but without that // because I believe what they're intending is they're making a copy of find in the current directory and they want to run the version of find in the current directory. I don't think that that's necessary. So basically all you need to do is copy this portion of it. And if we come back to our shell and we paste that in, paste clipboard, and we hit enter, we now have a root shell. Okay, so now we can go cd home cd cold cat user.txt. There's the user flag, and then we can cd to root, and then we can do an ls, and we can cat root.txt. And I'll blur this out because I don't like giving away the root flag. So that's how we pwned this box. So basically we ran an mmap scan. The only thing that was available was 80, which was running a WordPress site. So we did some go busting, found a hidden directory. It just had a dopey message there that asking the administrator to reset somebody's password. You could gather all the users from there, but you don't really need to. I guess if you wanted to maybe run something like Hydra, it would be useful because then you could just create a short user list and run that against a password list. I decided to go the WordPress scan route. First, I enumerated users. I found out who all the users on the machine were. Then I did another WordPress scan, brute force using RockU, and it came back with Cold's password pretty quickly. Once we had Cold's password, we logged into the WordPress site. And I found a couple of, I had a couple of thoughts about how to exploit it, but I figured the easiest and best way was to find a reverse shell plugin that we could just install. The installation part of it wasn't working so well, so I just basically went in and edited the Hello Dolly plugin, pasted in the reverse shell code, created a reverse shell to the machine. The shell was terrible. We went to Payloads All the Things, did a PHP one-liner to get a better shell. We then had to upgrade that shell using Python. And then once we did that, we were able to run the find commands to look for c0lld set commands. And ironically, we used the command to find the command that had the c0lld set, which is find. We went to GTFObins, and we used their recommendation to escalate our privileges. And that's that. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy machine. I hope this video helped you. I hope you found this, you learned something while watching this video. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to drop them below. I will definitely make sure all the links that I shared will be in the description below. I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Take care.